You're having the worst day of your life. You sit on the floor, you start crying, and within seconds, your dog is there. They didn't hear you call them. You didn't make any sudden movement. You didn't do anything. They just knew. And what happens next? The way they respond, the choices they make, the things they feel in that exact moment is one of the most remarkable things science has ever documented about the bond between dogs and humans. Because your dog isn't just reacting to a sound, they are feeling something. And what they feel when you cry is going to change how you see your dog forever. Let's start with what happens the moment you begin to cry. Before you've wiped a single tear, before anyone else in the room has noticed, your dog already knows. Brain imaging studies show that dogs have dedicated voice processing regions in their temporal cortex that activate specifically in response to emotionally charged human sounds. A laugh, a cry, an angry shout. Their brain doesn't just register the sound, it processes the emotional content of that sound, but it goes deeper than that. Researchers at ELTE Department of Ethology in Budapest conducted a landmark study published in the journal Animal Behavior, comparing how dogs and pigs respond to the sound of human crying. Both animals could hear the same recordings, but only the dogs showed a response consistent with emotional contagion, meaning their emotional state actually shifted to match what they heard. When the recording of a human crying played, dogs showed immediate signs of stress, shaking, whining, increased physical contact with their owners. Their heart rate variability changed. The pigs? They were more stressed by humming, an unusual sound they didn't understand. The dogs understood exactly what crying meant, and they felt it. Researchers called this emotional contagion, a basic but profound form of empathy where one individual's emotional state transfers to another. And a 2019 study found something that still makes scientists pause. Some dog-human pairs showed synchronized cardiac patterns during stressful moments. Their heartbeats were literally mirroring each other. When you cry, your dog's heart responds. Here's what makes dogs truly extraordinary in these moments. They don't need to see you cry. They don't need to hear you. They can smell it. In a study from 2018, researchers exposed dogs to sweat collected from people experiencing fear and stress versus sweat collected from the same people in a calm, relaxed state. The dogs exposed to the stress, sweat showed significantly more anxious behavior. Their cortisol levels rose. Their behavior changed. Your emotional state produces a distinct chemical signature, and your dog's nose, 100,000 times more powerful than yours, detects that signature before a single tear has fallen. A 2024 study published in NPR's Science coverage confirmed that dogs exposed to the smell of a stressed stranger, someone they had never met, became more pessimistic in their own decision-making. One person's stress, transmitted through scent alone, changed how a dog felt about the world around them. Think about what this means. On your worst days, the days when you're holding it together in front of everyone, when you haven't said a word, when you're doing everything you can not to show it. Your dog already knows. They've known for hours. They've been watching you, smelling you, waiting. And the moment you finally let go, they were already on their way to you. Now here's the question everyone wants answered. Do dogs actually feel empathy? Do they genuinely understand that you're suffering? Or are they just reacting to an unusual sound? The honest scientific answer is we don't know for certain, and any channel that tells you otherwise isn't being straight with you. What we do know, from a landmark study published in Animal Cognition by University of London researchers, is this. Researchers set up a situation where both a dog's owner and a complete stranger alternated between crying and humming. Of the 18 dogs in the study, 15 approached the crying person, whether it was their owner or the stranger. Only 6 approached during humming. And here's the detail that matters most. The dogs always approached the person who was crying, not the quiet person. If they were seeking comfort for themselves, they would have gone to the quiet, non-distressing person. They didn't. They went to whoever needed help. The researchers called this empathic-like comfort-offering behavior, not curiosity, not habit. Something that looks, behaviorally, almost exactly like what we call empathy in humans. And almost every dog that approached, 13 out of 15, did so with submissive body language. Head low, tail tucked, moving gently, as if they knew they needed to be careful with you. There's a study that not many people talk about, and it might be the most heartbreaking and beautiful piece of dog research ever conducted. Researchers at Ripon College placed 34 dogs in a situation where their owners were crying on the other side of a glass door. The dogs could see them, could hear them, but couldn't get to them. The door was held shut by 3 small magnets, light enough that any dog could push it open with a gentle touch. The question was, would they try? Most did, and the ones that did opened the door nearly 40 seconds faster when their owners were crying compared to when they were humming. 40 seconds. In dog world terms, that's an eternity of urgency. But here's the part that stays with you. The dogs who didn't open the door, who couldn't figure out how to get through, showed escalating signs of stress. The longer they watched their owner cry without being able to reach them, the more distressed they became. They weren't indifferent. They weren't calm. They were paralyzed by helplessness. Your dog doesn't just want to be near you when you cry. They need to be near you. And when they can't, it costs them something. That is not a pet reacting to a noise. That is something that looks very much like love. So what does this mean for how you behave around your dog when you're going through something difficult? First, let them come to you. When your dog approaches you during a moment of distress, they are not being clingy or needy. They are doing the most natural and profound thing available to them. Pushing them away in those moments doesn't just affect you, it affects them. They came with a purpose. Second, understand what your emotional state does to your dog over time. Chronic stress and anxiety in owners is one of the most underreported causes of behavioral problems in dogs. If you are consistently stressed, your dog is consistently stressed. Their cortisol levels mirror yours. Their nervous system responds to yours. Taking care of your mental health isn't just good for you, it's directly good for your dog. Third, pay attention to how your dog responds to you when you're low. Some dogs press their body against yours, some lick, some simply sit close and wait. Some bring you a toy, which we'll cover in a future video, and the real reason they do it will surprise you. But all of these behaviors in these moments mean the same thing. I'm here. I know. You're not alone. Thousands of years ago, humans and dogs made a deal. We gave them shelter, food, and safety. They gave us loyalty, protection, and companionship. But somewhere along the way, the deal changed. Because somewhere along the way, dogs didn't just learn to live with us, they learned to feel with us. When you cry, and your dog crosses the room, presses their warm body against yours, and looks up at you with those eyes, they are not performing. They are not trained to do that. They just feel what you feel, and they come. If this video moved you, and you want to understand your dog on a deeper level every week, subscribe to Good Dog Science. See you next week.